Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Welcome to our May TBR. And this is the second time I'm filming this because I forgot that this was May and I have been filming it for April this entire time. So we are in fact heading into May, which is absolutely insane. I say that every month, everybody says it, but it is still really crazy. I feel like the time has flown by. Hachi and I are very ready to get into some May reads. I've been reading through the TBR that he actually picked for me last month, which was actually April. And so far we've hit some really good books. So I'm going to wrap that up this week, I think. And then, yeah, I'm really excited to dive into some of these books. I also have a new TBR jar. So this actually used to be a candle. I really loved this container that it was in and I didn't know what to do with it. And I've also been like searching high and low for a new TBR jar that's like in this ambery glass color. I really wanted to find like an old antique, and so I'm still on the hunt for that. But in the meantime, we'll just use this. I also added in some new prompts, so I don't know if you'll be able to see, but there's some like lighter colored ones in there. Those are the new ones that I put in. I probably added about 20-25 new prompts, so she's stocked. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our May TBR. So like always, we're gonna start by picking one out of this box. So we'll give it a good little shake, see which one we pick. There is one that we picked a few months ago. I wanna say it was in December, that I would not be mad if we picked again, because I've been thinking about it ever since. And I'm still sad that I haven't gotten to read it. So I'll show you first. That looks like kind of a long title. Winter of the Witch. This is not what I was thinking of, but I did pick this in November or December. I'm actually really happy with that. Okay, Winter of the Witch, that's good. So this is Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden. This is the last book in the Bear and the Nightingale trilogy. I read this, or started this little trilogy, I want to say like a year and a half, 2 years ago. Maybe not even that long, I don't know, it feels like that long. And this is the last book, so I do need to finish this. I'm working on finishing the series that I'm in the middle of this year, so I am really happy that we picked this one. And I just really love this series. I'm not sure why I haven't picked it up, but I don't know. I just think that a lot of like newer releases have been coming out and grabbing my attention that I just haven't picked it up yet. But this is the second time that I picked it out of this little box, so I need to actually read it this time. So that is going to be our first book on our TBR. There are definitely some books that I really want to read in April. I really want to try and get in the next book in the Game of Thrones series. I really want to read Bookshops and Bone Dust. Oh, here we go. This actually might be a new one. And there's another one I have, a few that I have on my mental radar. What does that say? An even number of pages. This is a good one because it kind of like leaves room for interpretation. So, you know what? I was just talking about it. I really want to read Bookshops and Bone Dust. Let's see if this has, what was an even number? Even number of pages. Look at the back. It's got like little illustrations in it. Please. Oh, it does! 332. Yay. Okay, well that's an easy pick. I'm gonna be reading this one. I was told that this is like an oceanside or seaside story, and this is a cozy fantasy series that I recently fell in love with, like so hard, and I'm really excited. I've been dying to get to this book. I just noticed this little puppy dog on the side. What even is that? It's like a puppy dog eagle, and yeah, I'm really excited for this one. This was a fantastic pick also. Wow, one down. That's an easy one. What else? There's another book I just recently bought, which some of these actually, I haven't decided if I'm gonna pick from my book haul stack because I have not done a book haul. I haven't done the book haul video yet, and there's a bunch of books in that stack that I want to read. So if I want to pick one from there, we might just get like a little spoiler. An author you love. Wow, these prompts are being really nice to me. So it has to be an author that I've read before. Let me think about this one. Okay, so I think I picked it. I was kind of in between, these two. I was in between The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I'm not sure, I think this might have been on one of my recent TBRs, I can't remember, but it is on my 26th to read this year, so I do really want to read this book and I love Margaret Atwood. Or this cute little novella by Frederick Bachman. Obviously he's like one of my favorite authors. If you've been watching my channel, you know. But this is called And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer, and just the premise of whatever this cover is giving is something that I really want to read. And I was thinking, because this is such a short book, this is less than 100 pages, so I do really want to read this, and so I think I'm gonna add this, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a second prompt, because that barely even counts as a book. Maybe if we get a second prompt, I'll add this too. Technically, we still have 3 more prompts to pick, and that way we can make it even more fun. An indie author, that's a good one, I love this. Okay, so I have 3 books here that we could pick. I've got a couple other indie books on my shelf, but nothing that like I'm really feeling right now. So there's 3 here that I may want to read. The first one is The Ravens of London by Ryan Santana. This is a like Peaky Blinders inspired fantasy romance that I'm just realizing has like these really pretty like chapter headers. And I've had this book for probably about a year or so, and I am very intrigued by it, but I don't know if I'm really feeling like, honestly, a Peaky Blinders kind of story right now. I think I'm more in the like whimsy, foresty, elven type of vibes right now because it's spring and I'm feeling like green and lush stories, which I'm really kind of like looking at these other 2 options and neither one of them are really giving me like green and lush either. But this one I am intrigued by because this is kind of like a Viking romantasy that I found at Barnes & Noble. Yeah, it's definitely an indie published book, and I've had this for a little while and I think it might be time soon to read this. But I also have this, which I got the e-arc of this book in the second book, and the premise of this one sounds really cool. This is In the Name of Honor by Courtney and Clark Collins. It says on the back, "What would you risk to save someone you loved from a fate worse than death? A half-elven princess grieving the loss of one father and fearing for the other. A loyal guardsman torn between his oath to the king and her safety, and a creature so bent on revenge shall make the world kneel to hurt them all." I think I'm gonna read this one. Okay, it's kind of giving me spring vibes because there's like some plants and stuff here. And on the back, like, you got that. And it's elven, and I just said that, so I think we're gonna go with this. I'm very intrigued by it. I had requested the arc for a reason, and I don't know, I think it's time. I've just been kind of like sitting on that for a little while, so I think we're gonna do that and then put these 2 back. Okay, so those 2 counted as our 1 prompt. So now we have 2, wait, no, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 3 more prompts picked. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be a good TBR. I have like 3 in my hands. This is the one I want. Okay. A seasonal book. We just said that too, that I'm like in the mood for green, lush spring books. I have a few in mind. I have one that's just like kind of staring at me right now, and that is The Changeling Queen by Kimberly Bay. This is a very pretty book, and it's about the wild hunt, and I just have to assume kind of like a badass female main character type of vibe. And just by the cover, I mean, it's giving me like spring summer vibes. But I'm also seeing that we have like 3 fantasies on our TBR right now, and when it comes into like the spring summertime, for whatever reason I just get this itch to read like all of my literary fiction books. So I might take like a little peek around like my lit fic books and see if there's something that's like giving me spring vibes. I think I actually know which one I'm gonna read. Guys, I'm so excited for this one. This is The Correspondent by Virginia Evans, and it's just got 2 cute little birds on it. So that alone is giving me spring vibes. I'm just insanely excited for this one because I've heard nothing but good reviews. I've never heard a bad review about this book, and it's basically just a book full of letters and correspondence between an older lady at the like end of her life, I think, and other people. That's all I kind of really know. I really want to know. This recently came out. I actually had to go to a few different bookstores to get this book because it was sold out everywhere when it first released. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. This is definitely going on our TBR. I kind of want to pick like a new one. Here we go. Here's a new one. Wait a minute. I think I can see through the paper. Does that say what I think it does? A free pick. Okay. So for some reason, the TBR gods are just being really, really nice to me. So I think I always jump to conclusions really quickly about these books, and then I regret it later on. I can like wish I would have picked something else. So let me just think about this and pick a few options for our free pick, because I have one that I just recently bought that I haven't showed you yet. I do really want to read that, and I know there's others. So let me just look around. Okay, here's another book that is gonna be featured in my book haul. Strange Animals by Jared K. Anderson. Got this at Book People the other day. I recently saw a friend of mine post a bunch of quotes on her Bookstagram from this book, and this felt, or like I read a few of the quotes and it really felt like, I don't know, reading about the quirks of nature and kind of like a nature study almost in a way, but make it like lyrical prose and poetic. And obviously you can learn so much from just observing nature, and that's just kind of like what the quotes were giving me. And so I actually immediately, like that day, went to Book People to try and find it, and they had one copy. So I do really, really want to read this, but I also have others. Like I really want to read Animal Farm soon. I think that's gonna be one of the next like classics that I pick up. And then also The Bog Wife has really been on the back of my mind recently. And it's also kind of giving like weird, creepy, springy vibes. So I don't know, I think my mind is telling me to pick this one because I feel like I'm probably gonna read it anyways. And then these two I do want to read soon anyway, so I might just have them kind of like on the back burner or like plan B, or maybe we can make it work to pick them later. So yeah, Strange Animals by Jared K. Anderson is gonna be on the TBR. I don't really want to read the description for that because I truly want to go into that one blind because I have no idea what it's gonna be like. And now we have one more prompt. I kind of want to pick another one, like an extra, just because this is too much fun. Here we go. Hubby picks? Oh, okay. Jamie's actually in Vegas right now, so I don't know if he's gonna respond. What I can do is I will take a picture of like a few books and then have him pick one. Y'all, this is such a random collection of books right now, but I think these are the books that I'm going to take a picture of. So we've got Never Let Me Go. I've been really thinking about this a lot since purchasing it in New York. The Natural Way of Things, which is a newer purchase. Have I showed you guys this? I can't remember, but I really love the cover. And it sounds like a creepy feministy book. The Safe Keep, bought this recently. Red City, very intrigued by this. Skeptical because it's so hyped. And then we'll have The Bog Wife and Animal Farm in there as well. So I'm going to lay these all out and then take a picture. Okay. I have no idea how quickly he's gonna respond. So while we wait, that's what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, 8's not too many. Plus, I've been reading a lot more recently since I dropped back down to 2 days a week at work. One literally just fell out. I don't know if you saw that or not. Should we pick it? No, those are cursed. I swear high and low, those are cursed. We're not doing it. One day when I'm feeling spicy, I'll pick the one that pops out. There we go. Not feeling spicy today because we're gonna have 8 books on this TBR. I'll just say like the longest book in your TBR. A Romantasy. Okay, I could put a book that's a new release on here. That's a Romantasy. I should, so I can just read it. We don't have, the books on this TBR aren't too long. I should not start a new Romantasy series. I was thinking to Bleed a Crystal Bloom, but I am just not thinking that we should start a new series. I think we should finish the ones that we're already in the middle of. So, why is this always so difficult? Maybe we should just put the new release on there. You know, there's actually 2. The first one is, I think it's called The Twisted Throne by Daniel Jensen. That will complete the Bridge Kingdom trilogy. It'll complete the Bridge Kingdom series, and I definitely would feel very accomplished to do that. But there's also this book that just came out, I think this week. And if you guys have watched my videos for a little while, you might know my relationship with this book. I read the first one early last year in the summer and did not really like it. I just thought it was kind of, I mean, way too overhyped to begin with. Like, seriously overhyped. Not a bad book at all by any means, but totally fell short when it came to the plot and characters. I just felt like the characters were extremely shallow. Like, I didn't really care at all about following them or like getting to know them after a certain point, because like the first 350 pages nothing happened and the book was so long, and I just felt like there was a lot of repetition in the plot and the same things kept happening with the same outcome, and like nothing changed from them, like the scenes and stuff that were happening. And it just seemed very surface level romantasy, like not really something with a whole lot of substance. But I don't even remember what happened at the end of the book, but for whatever happened at the end of the book, it made me willing to pick up the second one. So also, I mean, they're gorgeous books. Like, how can you not want a completed set on your shelves? Like, we're gonna put this on the TBR because this is clearly, it's a romantasy through and through. So maybe we should just put this one on there. And then the Twisted Throne, I'm gonna get to that eventually. Like, I have no reason to feel like I need to put it on a TBR. So I will probably just wait to read that at a later date. It's also like a pretty long book. It's like pretty thick, and it's the end of like one of my favorite series. So I don't wanna rush it or like put it on a TBR and put pressure on it or anything. So I think this might be like the perfect option. And I think my husband just responded, so let's see what fate he picked out for me. Ooh, The Bog Wife. It's like he knew. So excited to have this on the TBR. I actually didn't really realize how short this book was. This is only 300 pages. This is The Bog Wife by K. Cronister. This is some type of literary fiction, like a gothic style literary fiction, I believe. Adhering to an ancient covenant, each generation of the Hadsley family sacrifices its patriarch to the West Virginia cranberry bog that sustains them. In exchange, the bog produces a bog wife brought to life from vegetation. This woman is meant to carry on the family line, but when the bog fails or refuses to honor the bargain, the 5 discordant Hadley siblings, still grieving the mother who mysteriously disappeared years earlier, face an unknown future. So this sounds like a weird little horror-y fiction novel surrounding a bog and some magic, and yeah, I'm excited, say less. This is kind of like up my alley right now. So this is a fantastic TBR. Holy heck. This is so good. This is like the perfect combination of books that I want to be reading right now. So we've got Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden, finishing up a series. Bookshops and Bone Dust. Frederick Bachman, and Every Morning the Way Gets Longer and Longer. In the Name of Honor, a indie author. The Correspondent, Virginia Evans. Strange Animals, Rites of Starling, and The Bog Wife. So these are going to be, I think it's going to be a really interesting reading month for, I keep wanting to say April, but for May. Yeah, and I cannot be more excited. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you guys have had a wonderful week and weekend, and I will see you guys in the next video very soon. Bye guys.